Hi everyone! Have you ever considered how lucky we all are? According to scientific data, the average human life expectancy is 79 years. On the one hand, that's a lot. On the other, we all want to live a very long life. However, do not forget that even 30 to 40 years ago, the average life expectancy of a man was only 61 years. In the 18th century, people were lucky if they lived to be 33. As for the Neolithic times, people almost never lived beyond 21 years. The latest advances in medicine and technology have allowed us to bring our living standards to a whole new level. However, there are people on the planet who have discovered the secret of longevity on their own, and today we will tell you about them. Let's get it on! Dumitru COMANESCU. Although our first hero is the youngest in our list for today, he is nevertheless one of the oldest men on the planet. To be precise, he is the third oldest living man in the world. Dumitru COMANESCU lives in Romania, and on November 8th, he will hopefully celebrate his 112th birthday. What's the secret of his long life? There are several factors. Dumitru claims the secret is simple. Be a loving, caring family man. His neighbors believe that his secret lies in a diet, which consists of large amounts of homemade milk and honey. In addition, the village where Dumitru lives is located about 100 kilometers from Bucharest. There are no factories, few cars, so clean rural air must be another reason why the 111-year-old man is alive and quite healthy. Chitetsu Watanabe. We have to say right away, not all the people we're about to show you are still alive. There's something sad about this, but after all, we are talking about old people who are grateful for every new day. Chitetsu Watanabe was born in 1907 in the ordinary Japanese village. First, the man decided to follow in the footsteps of his parents and become a farmer, so he graduated from an agricultural school. Then he went to Taiwan to work for a sugarcane plant. Having survived the Second World War, Chitetsu decided to return to his homeland and got a job as a civil servant. After retiring, the old man became interested in the art of bonsai and grew vegetables. When people asked him how to live long, the man answered, "You just need to smile more often, never be angry, and quickly forget all the bad stuff." On February 12th of this year, the Guinness Book of Records called Chitetsu Watanabe the oldest living man in the world, and on February 23rd, he unfortunately passed away. It was just 11 days before his 113th birthday. Richard Overton.
My name is Richard Arvin Overton.
If you get to know this person better, there won't be any questions how he managed to live to 112 years. During his lifetime, Richard was one of the oldest men in the United States. He was also the oldest veteran of World War II in the United States. Richard was born on May 11, 1906, and only 34 years later, he finally found his true life purpose, the Army. Overton served in the South Pacific. The media claimed that Richard saw an attack on Pearl Harbor with his own eyes. Even at a very advanced age, he did not lose his strength of spirit and displayed fearlessness, which helped him survive the war. He says nothing ever bothers him. He can sleep with every door open without a lock on it. Many people become inactive and need help when they turn 90, but when Richard hit 100 years old, he still led a rather active lifestyle and even drove a car. In 2016, he even renewed his driving license, all by himself. At that time, he was already 108 years old. Richard Overton has been honored with many awards, such as the U.S. Army Good Conduct Medal and American Defense Service Medal. He passed away on December 27th, 2018. Bob WEIGHTON. Now let's talk about the man who is officially recognized as the oldest living man on the planet. Bob WEIGHTON is a resident of the United Kingdom. He was born in Kingston upon Hull, and looking at him, it's hard to believe that a month ago he celebrated his 112th birthday. In his youth, Bob took up a marine engineering apprenticeship, then moved to Taiwan. He spent 2 years in Japan studying the language. In 1939, Bob and his wife wanted to return to Britain, but the war broke out and the couple ended up in Toronto, Canada. Then they moved to Connecticut, then Washington, and only after the war was over, they finally returned home. Bob devoted his life to teaching. Even after celebrating his 110th birthday, Mr. WEIGHTON continues to be active and able to walk on his own. When asked about the secret of his longevity, Bob says that he simply avoids dying. Hester Ford. If you look at the list of 100 oldest people on the planet, it's easy to notice that there are very few men, only 6 of them to be exact. So let's talk about women for a change. Let's start with Hester Ford from the US, who was born on August 15th, 1904 in Lancaster. For 5 months now, she's the oldest living US citizen. Last year, she turned 115 years old. And although the holiday was a real event, we would not want to attend it. Why? Too crowded. Hester's family is huge. The woman raised 12 children. As of 2017, she has 53 grandchildren, 120 great-grandchildren, and 126 great-great-grandchildren. Lucille Randon. And here we have a woman who is not only the oldest person in France, but also in the entirety of Europe. Lucille Randon was born on February 11th, 1904, which means that a couple of months ago, she turned 116 years old. This woman has spent her entire life helping others and serving God. When she was young, Lucille worked as a teacher and a governess. In 1923, she was baptized, and after World War II, she chose an extremely important and noble mission. For 28 years, Lucille worked in a hospital, where she cared for orphans and the elderly. The woman decided to spend her old age in a monastery, where she has been living for more than 40 years now. Despite her age, Lucille is adamant about attending Mass at 11 o'clock and taking part in the evening prayers. In her free time, the old lady likes to listen to the radio and walk around the garden. JIROUEMON KIMURA. Can you imagine a cake big enough to fit 116 candles? Well, this man can. He not only ate a cake like that, but he was also the one who blew all the candles out himself. JIROUEMON KIMURA was a man who held the title of the oldest person on the planet for the whole last year of his life. Besides, for 2 years, he was also the oldest man alive. JIROUEMON was born in the Japanese city of Kyoto. After graduating from school, he got a job in the post office, where he then worked for 45 years. After retiring, he did not become a slacker. He spent all his free time on a farm. It's no secret that working with livestock, in the garden, or in the field is incredibly hard and exhausting. That's why it's all the more surprising that JIROUEMON was doing all these things until he turned 90 years old. Then, unfortunately, his legs began to weaken, so he had to give up what he loved. Kimura said that the secret to his longevity was regular physical activity and proper, balanced nutrition. He died in 2013, having 7 children and a bunch of grandchildren with great-grandchildren. KANE TANAKA. You are looking at the world's oldest living person. On January 2nd, KANE TANAKA, a resident of Japan, celebrated her 117th birthday. The more you find out about this amazing woman, the more you admire her. KANE was born prematurely. She survived the First World War, then the second, although she lost her husband and son in the latter. She somehow managed to recover from her grief and worked in her family shop until her retirement. At the age of 103, this woman won another battle with death. This time, she managed to beat colon cancer. Today, KANE TANAKA lives in a nursing home. She likes doing calligraphy, writing poetry, and walking down memory lane, which is pretty long in her case. Her 4 keys to a long life are family, hope, healthy sleep, and a balanced diet. We wish for the old woman's dream to come true. She said that she would love to live to the age of 120. Jeanne CALMENT. 122 years old. That's how old this woman was when she parted with the title of the oldest living person on Earth. Even though Jeanne CALMENT died in 1997, more than 20 years ago, we simply had to include her in the list. This woman is the only person over 120 years old whose age was documented. She was born in Arles in 1875. She came from a rich family, had a good marriage, and so could afford not to work. Jeanne spent her free time playing tennis and cycling. She loved to swim, rollerblade, play the piano, and go to the opera. When she turned 110 years old, CALMENT became a celebrity. Since then, a crowd of reporters attended each of her birthdays. Jeanne became quite a research subject for doctors. She also felt no need for a healthy lifestyle. Jeanne smoked for 95 years. She gave up cigarettes at the age of 117 years because of her loss of eyesight. It became too hard to light a cigarette. Ching-Yuen. We would love to show you this person on video, but we simply can't. The thing is, when Ching-Yuen was still alive, there were no cameras yet. But still, we just have to tell you about the man who lived for 256 years.
No.
Yes, you heard right. There is actually no official contemporary confirmation of his age. Ancient records show that Li Ching-Yuen was born in 1677, which people readily believed. He spent most of his life in the mountains, where he practiced alchemy. He collected and sold medicinal herbs. By the way, it is believed that they are the secret of his incredible longevity. According to various sources, Li Ching-Yuen was married from 14 to 24 times during his 256 years. He produced then 180 descendants. The man died in 1933. This is it for today. See you soon.